I recently got an email from my dear friend Mike Cohn, and he starts out with distilled to its essence. It's quite simple to be a Scrum Master, Agile coach, or anyone seeking to improve team or organizational agility. There are only three things you need to do, and St. Francis laid them out succinctly over 800 years ago. Now, I love this type of post. One of the things that I absolutely love about Mike and I love about Agile in general is I have a couple of posts that say Aristotle was the OG Scrum Master. So, I believe firmly in looking at our past to move forward. Let's see what three things Mike brings to pass here. He says, start by doing what's necessary, then what's possible, and suddenly you'll find you're doing the impossible. So let's take it from the top, doing what's necessary. To improve agility, we have to start with what's necessary. Change practices that go against Agile principles. If programmers and testers aren't part of a single multidisciplinary team, that needs to change. You can't have both flavors anymore. That's mega old school. You need to have gray people who can do both. If the team doesn't see the benefits of iterative and incremental work, you need to talk to them about that and have that true face-to-face, that heart-to-heart with them. Similarly, if management is opposing deadlines without regard to the team's opinion, I'm sorry, I said opposing. Let's try that again. Similarly, if management, third tries the charm. Similarly, if management is imposing deadlines without regard for the team's opinion, you'll need to help them see the light. Sometimes I wish leaders would see the light. I'm walking towards the light. Never mind. That's harsh. But, it's just one of those things where if the team understands what is necessary, it's going to make it so much easier for them to get the work done, and it's going to make it so much better for everyone involved. Okay. Then do what's possible. Having made changes necessary to enable agility, look next at what's possible. There will be so many more options to choose from now, such as shortening your sprints, improving teamwork, reducing handoffs by overlapping work, introducing new practices such as story mapping or objective stack ranking. Don't try to improve everything at once. Choose wisely. Initially, there'll be opportunities for small changes to create outsized improvements. Now, what I can tell you is this comes straight from Atomic Habits. James Clear does a very good job of illustrating why we need to have that mindset. So I fully endorse and approve of that mindset. Last, finally, do the impossible. At this point, it becomes time to do the impossible. Except that now, very little of what you think about is still impossible at this point. So while it's doing the impossible, a lot of it should already be achievable. Having iteratively and incrementally improved, most teams feel powerful enough to take on challenges and changes that would have seemed impossible just a few short weeks ago. What still seems impossible are changes outside the team. Many managers still impose deadlines. Stakeholders may voice too frequent changes because they've heard Agile teams embrace change. Fixing these outside the team's behavior is not impossible, but it is harder and often takes some time. Fortunately, a team that's done the necessary and then the possible will always be ready to face the impossible. I love that, Mike. And for me, I think over time, you're right. The impossible becomes more possible, but it's not something that happens overnight. And I think keeping that transparency air with leadership is so important because they have to know what direction we're going and what is possible, or else they're just going to ask you for the impossible over and over again. The second you give them the impossible once, you got to be careful that you're not creating a precedent for them to always ask for the impossible either. So just some food for thought, right? That's going to do it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at agiledad.com. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Thanks, Mike, for another great email. You take care. Bye now.